and then we'll get set up ready for the one and only memes. We got loads tonight, and thank you to everyone for sending them in. And anyone else who wants to send them in, memes@andology.com. That'll probably change to memes@ultimatelive.show.com moving forwards, but for the time being, memes@andology.com is fine. So thank you so much to those that have sent their memes in. Lawrence, Harvey, Kitty, and then once we've done Debbie, Sandy, we need to get rid of the Karens, don't we? So where's the anti-Karen button? Anti-Karen button. Here we go. Right, anti-Karen.
This Ultimate Live show has been approved for
open-minded audiences
and has been rated
facts and opinions.
Special caution for closed-minded, uneducated, or low IQ people. Adverse reactions can include crying, hitting the dislike button, unsubscribing, stupid comments, and other self-inflicted sufferings.
Yes, indeed. So, with that being said, now it's safe to move into the memes. So, all the Karens should be gone by now. All the Karens gone? Yeah, they're all gone. Right, let's go. Now we can be... now we can be safe. Here we go. How much you want to bet? Oh, cool. This is pretty heavy to start off with, isn't it? How much you want to be at? How much you want to bet at one time she thought to herself, my government would never do that to me. My government would never do that to me. That's a pretty awful looking scene though, isn't it? Look at that. Let that sink in. But isn't it right, man? I see these people walking about the shops all day, every day with their masks on and shit, and they would never do that. My government loves me. Fuck, man. Raise your hand if you think the whole world has gone crazy. Me most. When your dream job of injecting old people with dangerous drugs comes up, but you've been dead for 20 years. Who sent me this one? I got it. Oh dear. I won't be impressed with technology until I can download food. That reminds me of the old Star Trek, what do you call it? What, replicators? The old Star Trek replicators, isn't it? Think you can do better than me, Joe? I'll tell you what, I reckon she can do better than 99.99% of the population with what she's got rocking there. Yeah, it's all you need, innit? Some land and just to be left alone. Everything else sorts itself out, innit? Human nature takes over at that point. And human nature, do you know the biggest lie ever told to man? A very wise man told me this. The biggest lie ever told to man is that the without structure and government and all the rest of it, that they would just be running around killing each other. It's the biggest lie ever told to man. It's a little bit like looking at a bunch of penguins. You know when you see penguins all huddled together in the ice and the snow? Yeah, you don't see them all beating each other up and stealing their fish off them, do you? They operate in the same way. They have relationships in the same way as humans do as well. They operate in communities in the same way. Yeah, and tribes are very similar. Right, and herds. Yeah, you see like herds of bison or whatever, right? In the outbacks. Yeah, they're not all spending their whole day beating each other up and hitting each other, are they? They're all moving around all as one big crew. It's crazy. So it's the biggest lie ever told to man is that without government and police, they'd just be running around killing each other. Anyway, it's for your own good. You've got to stop touching your face. Yeah, that's definitely probably what the dogs are thinking. Prediction. There will be a minor baby boom in 9 months, and then in one day in 2033, we shall witness the rise of the quarantines. Like it. Like it. I wonder, our son he's a teenager, only just, but he's a teenager, so really, he's like a quarantine, isn't it? Because he spent most of his time being homeschooled, for the last 2 years anyway, and quarantined, basically, yeah. Inadvertently. I mean, he goes out whenever he wants, but he's still a quarantine, isn't he? Just secretly, it's not very secret at all. It's a pretty poor job of being secret, but I'm just secretly dunking biscuit behind the scenes into my tea. what that says. Humans. Please, God, let 2022 be a good one. God. You guys are still alive? I thought I got rid of you little fuckers already. No, we're still here, unfortunately. Yeah, Seymour, good to see you in the chat. Didn't see you earlier on. Sorry, what was that one? Oh yeah, look at that. Classic. Old school style mass hypnosis, isn't it? Amazing. Although I do come from a very much Christian background, so I think the Bible has its place, particularly if everybody just followed the very basic 10 rules as a 10 commandments, we know them as. The world would indeed be a better place. There's no arguing with that. Same as most of these religions, to be honest. It's like living in Asia, it's like Buddhism. You know, you look at Buddhism, it's like do no harm to any living being and stuff like that. And it's like karma and what you do to others come back on you. And it's like, literally, if everybody lived like that, it would be a better place. So it definitely has its place. It's just obviously a lot of these things get co-opted and used as a control mechanism. So, I'm always forced to do things I'm not qualified for, like being nice to fucking idiots. I think this was Urban Harvesting's one. Or one of. The new Air Force One has arrived. That's about right, isn't it? Goofy. What's that from? Cars, isn't it? The truck. The pickup truck. What's his name? Don't know. What an absolute joke. Did you see that video? Did you see that video with Brandon? It was, and he was it was a stitch up of him doing about 30 times saying exponentially wrong. Exponentially. Exponentially.
Exponentially. Exponentially. Exponentially. Exponentially. Exponentially. Exponentially. Exponentially. Exponentially. Exponentially. Exponentially. Exponentially. Exponentially. Exponentially. Exponentially. Exponentially. Exponentially. Exponential. Exponentially. 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 Exponentially.
Exponentially. So, don't know who did this. I love it. Such a special year. Needed a logo. 2020. Definitely. Definitely. I suppose 2021 is going to be like gang signs, isn't it? We are going to shut up. Check it out. This is funny. Just say what you see. Say what you see. So we got old matey boy, Mr. Ear Eater. He eats ears, doesn't he? Mike Tyson. Perth. Perth. Fucking brilliant. Nice to see Charles and Camilla out getting some fresh air. I'll tell you who Camilla looks like. I can see a resemblance between Camilla there and Jacinda Ardern. Ardern. Is it Ardern? It is, isn't it? Jacinda Ardern. Yeah, I can see the resemblance. So Charles will probably fancy her as well a bit, I reckon. Amazing. Looks like he's off fox hunting. Obviously he's been photoshopped in there, but... Who don't get it? Debbie Sermon, which one don't you get? The Perth. The Perth one? Yeah, it's because he's got a lisp. He's got a lisp. Everyone has a plan until punched in the face. Oh, do you know what, actually? I think whoever made this meme needs to change it. And do you know who it needs to be? Do you know? No, it's... What's his name, innit? Chris Eubank. Chris Eubank. Chris Eubank. Hello, my name's Chris Eubank. I'm a sir, don't you know? I'm a sir, don't you know? I got a lisp, so I thought I'd make myself a sir, and then I can say sir. Chris Eubank. So it's Chris Eubank that would say Perth. Because it wasn't him who said... Oh no, because again it was Mike Tyson that said everyone has a plan until you're punched in the face. Anyway, fuck me, moving on. Normal is getting dressed in clothes that you buy for work and driving through traffic in a car that you are still paying for in order to get to the job you need to pay for the clothes and the car and the house that you leave vacant all day so you can afford to live in it. Yep. Yeah, look at that for a motorway, man. Highway you'd call it, we call it a motorway. How many lanes is that? That's epic. Don't think we've got anything like that in the UK with that many lanes. We have about 5 lanes per side max. Absolute max. But yeah, absolutely. I kind of figured this out back in about 2000, maybe? 2000? Someone asked me that. They said, when were you awake, Andy? When did you wake up or whatever? I forget what the terminology was, but... And I need to do a segment on that at some point because it's a really good question. It's an important question. And at first, my knee-jerk reaction would be to say, you know, about 2000, 1999-ish. Before 9/11, because it's like 9... And again, this is why I need to do a separate video on about it, because I think it's important for people to talk about what it was that made them be aware and dig deeper. And because if you can figure that out, then it's much easier to help others figure it out too, right? That's the pursuit of the knowledge to know what differentiates the people who figure shit out to the ones that don't. And if you can help the ones that don't figure more stuff out, again, the world will be a better place, right? The brave don't live forever. The cautious don't live at all. Reminds me of that quote in business when if you think change is scary, you should try monotony. That's scary as hell. Or that will scare you to death or something like that. Yeah. I butchered it, but it's something like that. If you think change is scary, then you should try monotony. Or something like that. If Liar's pants really did catch on fire, watching the news would be a whole lot more fun, wouldn't it? Have to hide the fire extinguishers as well. Corona at 9:59 PM. This is to do with 10 PM lockdowns. Corona at 9:59 PM. Magwai, Magwai. And then Corona at 1 minute past 10. Gremlin. Bright light. Forget elf on a shelf. Here's a tosser on a crosser. Oh dear. Looks like his brother's standing there with a blue tie on it. With slightly better hairdo. So check it out. I've seen this floating about quite a lot. Brain cells, universe, DNA will have similar structure and stuff, yeah. Not really a meme, is it? But it's interesting. Makes you wonder. Here we go. This is good. Stop saying you did your research before you got the injection. You are the research. I can't argue with that. Logically. No. Omicron just isn't killing anyone. Make up some other bullshit. See, that is something to be aware of, bear in mind. If narratives don't pick up the pace that they want them to, and they can't do a good enough job suppressing what's really going on, like I showed you in the SHTF news, where they were just hiding the fact that there were only protests happening and there's like hundreds of thousands of people in London, right? And when their efforts don't work, then, you know, they get desperate. And they start doing shit like pulling the grid down and shutting the internet down, stop people talking about stuff and all this sort of nonsense and big distractions. So we need to be looking for that. Scan this. I should put some text at the bottom just says scan this. I don't know what happens if you do try and scan it. Should we see just for a laugh? Because then I can save you bothering. Nah. So there you go. What a service that is. Don't bother wasting your time scanning that. Ain't going to do anything. First name is Bill. Wears a sweater. Plays a doctor on TV. Wants to put something in you without your permission. There's only 2 people that could be. And they're both listed below. Christina G saying that's what my COVID pass is going to look like. Yeah. I don't need a QR code to show what my COVID pass will look like. Oh dear. Are you going to sleepy bye-byes, Kitty? This is fucking amazing. This is a cat. That's a cat.
This is a cat.
I should do it in his voice, really.
This is a cat. This is a cat.
I'll have to practice that.
This is a cat.
That is a cat. I need to practice my NPC voice as well, don't I? That is a cat. I haven't got blue enough or purple enough hair to do the voice. Fucking hell. Right. Not that I've got anything against people with blue or purple hair. I think I prefer purple. Homeschool. This is good. Homeschool. That looks nice, doesn't it? Because it's impossible to do worse than the government right now when it comes to school. Look at it. And it's worse than that. I've seen pictures where they've got like lich. There's lich, perspex, cage around them and at the top. How are they breathing inside that? How is it not even misting up? And a mask. It's just awful as hell. Firefighters, this is a good point. This is a good point. I don't know when this all changed to be like it is now. So firefighters, don't go looking for fires to put out. Paramedics, don't go looking for people to treat. Police shouldn't go looking for people to find and arrest or harass. If we need you, we will call. Absolutely. What happened to that, innit? Something happened, you'll call them and say something's happened, just like the fire brigade and just like the ambulance service, right? It's not really a service at that point, is it? It stops being a service that you're paying for. Or contributing to, however you want to put it. Because again, the police force is a corporation. It's a private corporation. Just like it is in every country. And heavily driven with the old Freemasonry. So, stab it, jab it, Boris Booster bingo. That sounds like the sort of brand I would come up with for the Ultimate Live Show, isn't it? Stab it, jab it, Boris Booster bingo. And look, once you get all of them ticked off, you get a free KFC. And look, 10% off whores. That's the sort of thing that was it? Oh no, who did that? Amsterdam, wasn't it? If you got a jab, they give you a free night with a hooker. That's the government, right? Get a jab in I think it was Amsterdam somewhere like that, and they offered them a free night with a woman of their choice. The government pay for it if you got a jab. So this isn't, again, Poe's Law, right, from the old Truth or Trivia segment, right? That's what this is about, because that might as well be real. Yeah, might as well be real. But it's supposed to be a joke, right? And hence, Poe's Law. Amazing. Anyway. Don't have to worry about global warming if there ain't no globe to begin with. The old flat earther meme there. CCC Machine saying KFC was out of chicken tonight down here. Where's down here, CCC Machine? Whereabouts are you? God, I love KFC right now. If only they were real chicken. Look at this. Why have I lost my sense of taste and smell? Sore throat starter kit, look. Fucking hell. Anytime I see that. Just amazing. It's so infectious and so contagious that you have to basically do a biopsy on someone to see if they've got it or not. Fucking hell. If it was that contagious, surely you just spit in a cup. And it would be teeming. If it's aerosol, it means it's only coming from the fluids that are expelled in the aerosols, which is basically your saliva. So if you can't detect it in saliva, then there's no way you're detecting it in the air, now is it? So if you can't detect it in the saliva and you have to resort to using this shit to see if you've got it or not, I don't know what to tell anyone at this point. It's just menticide. There's no science or logic to anyone's thinking anymore. Anyway. How much... Oh, look, we're back to the beginning. And we ended on a rant, didn't we? You know what we like. Oh dear, let me know if you liked it in the chat. So that wraps up the memes for tonight.